How long can an E-2 visa be issued for? Hello, my name is Ian Scott, and I am an immigration attorney, and I happen to be an immigration attorney that is in the US on an E-2 visa, so I know what you are going through. There are really three factors that we look at when we ask the question of how long an E-2 visa can be issued for. The first is, which country are you from? The government has a list, and the list indicates the maximum amount of time that a visa can be issued for that particular country. So, for example, a Canadian national, the visa can be issued for a maximum amount of time of 5 years. A national from Australia, 4 years. A national from France can be issued an E-2 visa for 15 months, and a national from Bangladesh can be issued an E-2 visa for 3 months. And we're going to talk about that short time frame a little bit more in a minute. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that even though there is a maximum amount of time that the visa can be issued for, you can renew this visa indefinitely. The second thing that we look at when making a determination of how long an E-2 visa can be issued for is how strong is your case. So there are some instances where an individual may have a maximum amount of time that their visa can be issued for based on their nationality. So for example, a national from Germany can have an E-2 visa issued for 5 years. However, they could go to the US consulate in Frankfurt, and the consular officer could decide based on the strength of their case that they're going to issue the visa for less time. So, for example, 2 or 3 years. And what they're saying is that they believe that the visa is approvable on the merits, but they want the individual to come back to the consulate and show them that they actually were able to hire US workers. The final factor that we consider when we talk about the timing of an E-2 visa is that regardless of how long your visa is issued for, every time you enter the United States on an E-2 visa, you're admitted for 2 years. So yes, that means that if you enter the United States and you have a visa that's valid for 5 years, you're admitted for 2 years, and you're required after that 2-year period or just before that 2-year period ends to leave the US and re-enter, even if you re-enter the same day. Similarly, we talked earlier about a national from Bangladesh, and a national from Bangladesh can only be granted an E-2 visa for 3 months. But really what that means is that the individual can enter the US, and when they enter the United States, they are given 2 years in E-2 status, and they are allowed to live and work in the US for that 2-year period. However, if they left the United States after that 3-month period, they would require a new visa to re-enter. So really, we think of a visa as an entry document only. And then once you enter, regulation takes over, and the regulation says that every time you enter the US on an E-2 visa, you are given 2 years. And this occurs even if you enter just before your E-2 visa is about to expire. To get answers to this and many more immigration questions, follow us. Thank you.